Behind the Lens, Ruby Franke's Fall and the Dark Side of Family Vlogging. In the world of family vlogging, where picture-perfect snapshots of life are carefully curated for millions of viewers, one family stood out. Ruby Franke, the matriarch of the 8 Passengers YouTube channel, built a brand around guiding her 6 children with strict, no-nonsense parenting. To her followers, she appeared to be a model parent, advocating for accountability and family values. But as cracks in this carefully crafted image began to surface, they revealed something much darker lurking beneath. This is the story of Ruby Franke's rise to internet fame, the controversies surrounding her parenting philosophies, and the scandal that turned her from a beloved YouTube figure into the subject of legal investigations. It's also a closer look at the toxic underbelly of family vlogging, a genre where the line between content and exploitation becomes dangerously blurred. In 2015, Ruby Franke and her family burst onto the YouTube scene with their channel, 8 Passengers. The premise was simple: a glimpse into the lives of Ruby, her husband Kevin, and their 6 children. The channel mirrored the collective aspiration of many families, organized chaos, love, and life's everyday challenges. Millions of viewers tuned in to watch the family grow. Episodes ranged from cheerful outings to more serious parenting lessons taught by Ruby herself. Her parenting style, though strict, initially came across as relatable. A mom trying her best to instill discipline in her kids while managing the chaos of a large household. But as the channel grew in popularity, so too did scrutiny from viewers. Embedded within the cheery thumbnails and orchestrated laughter were glimpses of moments that didn't sit well with audiences. Innocuous parenting decisions started to look less harmless and more concerning. As the channel grew into a multi-million subscriber empire, Ruby's parenting methods started sparking heated discussions online. Among the mounting controversies was a now infamous episode where her young son was denied access to his bedroom for months after a disciplinary issue and forced to sleep on a beanbag. Another clip showed her daughter being denied lunch because she forgot her school materials. At first, Ruby brushed off these criticisms, defending her strict parenting as a necessity for teaching accountability and resilience to her children. For some followers, her methods seemed tough but fair. But for others, it became increasingly hard to distinguish between discipline and outright mistreatment. Public backlash amplified when fans noticed the children themselves sometimes appeared uncomfortable or disheartened on camera. Smiling one moment and retreating into silence the next, the Franke kids seemed like unwilling participants in their family's brand. By 2021, Ruby partnered with Jodi Hildebrandt to create Conscience, a life coaching program aimed at helping families embrace truth and honesty. Conscience claimed to offer tools that would help individuals and families achieve greater accountability. However, its core messaging and Ruby's new, more authoritarian tone raised red flags for many. The program espoused rigid practices that blurred the line between teaching accountability and emotional manipulation. It encouraged parents to enforce extreme obedience on their children, including isolating loved ones who strayed from prescribed family values. For longtime viewers, Ruby's association with Conscience indicated a troubling shift. Fans who once embraced her tough but loving image now began describing her as someone consumed by control. The videos became less about family bonding and more about obedience, with Ruby using the platform to lecture millions on the moral superiority of harsh discipline. The results? A dwindling audience, broken family relationships, and most tragically, allegations of abuse. In 2023, the image that Ruby Franke had worked so tirelessly to curate shattered entirely. Police arrested Ruby and Jodi Hildebrandt after reports surfaced of maltreatment involving Ruby's children. According to the accounts detailed in media and official reports, one of Ruby's sons escaped from Jodi's home, malnourished and wounded, sparking immediate intervention from authorities. The details were harrowing: stories of starvation, physical injuries, and isolation, one of Ruby's 12-year-old children was allegedly found so severely neglected and underweight that investigators described it as life-threatening. It wasn't discipline, it was abuse. Amid the media frenzy, Ruby's extended family, including her sisters, who were also prominent YouTubers, distanced themselves from her. They expressed heartbreak for the children and disapproval of Ruby's actions, describing her behavior as estranged and unrecognizable from the sister they once knew. Ruby's older children also spoke out. They described growing up in an atmosphere of rigidity and constant performance, bound by rules that prioritized the family brand over their emotional and physical well-being. Their testimony made it glaringly clear that what the audience saw on screen was only a fraction of the full story. While Ruby Franke's actions now face legal consequences, her story is not an isolated incident. It's part of a larger problem within the family vlogging industry, a genre built on transforming private lives, especially those of children, into entertainment for mass consumption. At the heart of it lies an uncomfortable truth. When families become brands, boundaries blur between personal life, parenting, and profit. The once clear distinction between guiding children and exploiting them for content becomes murky. Ruby's children, much like those of other family vloggers, had their lives filmed, edited, and packaged for millions before they were old enough to even consent. Significant milestones, minor mishaps, and private struggles were all commodified. When criticism arose, family vloggers often defended their work as a means of bonding or financial necessity. In reality, the children bore the emotional and mental burden of being performers. Research shows that growing up in such a publicized environment can profoundly impact a child's development. Beyond the loss of privacy, children in family vlogs frequently report feelings of alienation, anxiety, and resentment for being part of a show they didn't sign up for. Ruby's children exemplify these consequences, young lives molded into content machines under the guise of moral and financial security. Following Ruby's arrest, YouTube removed all 8 of Ruby Franke's channels, taking a bold stance against platforms that misuse their reach. But what about the platforms that allowed it to get this far? Why are there no regulations addressing child labor protections or guidelines for monetizing family vlogging? Audiences, too, play a role. As much as Ruby curated her online persona, her continued success was fueled by viewers. Millions were drawn to the drama and spectacle of her parenting style and family dynamics, clicking, commenting, and sharing. Childhood innocence was traded for online virality, and nearly everyone in the equation profited except the children themselves. The rise and fall of 8 passengers starkly illustrate that oversight is severely lacking. As more creators adopt the family vlogging model, listeners and platforms alike must ask crucial questions. Where do we draw the line between sharing and exploitation? How can we protect the vulnerable from falling victim to the pressures of monetization? Ruby Franke's story is as much a cautionary tale about individual accountability as it is a sweeping indictment of a system without safeguards. It's easy to see her as a villain, but what enabled her rise? Were her children's lives exposed because of her decisions, or because there's demand for such content? As viewers of true crime and media criticism, we hold a unique responsibility to recognize the impact of our clicks and views. The question isn't just, what happened to Ruby Franke? It's, why did we let this happen? The case is far from over, both in court and in public discourse. And as Ruby Franke faces the consequences of her actions, this is an opportunity for introspection within the media ecosystem. Let's push for regulations that protect children in online content and reevaluate the narratives we consume for entertainment. Because when family life becomes content, we risk erasing the boundaries that hold real families together. And in the end, it's the children who pay the price. This script strikes a balance between factual storytelling and reflective analysis, pulling true crime enthusiasts into the case while highlighting larger societal concerns. Let me know if you'd like adjustments or additions.